Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. This is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa 914, was the Cat, New York, doing another live video real quick. Shout out to the chat. It's all over social media. I don't know how true it is, but it's all over social media about what President Donald Trump is going to be doing to servicemen that are not white. Let's just call an ace a ace, a spade a spade. He is going to purge the military of all black people. Now, some people will say, well, baby, I don't think that's totally correct. Is it about razor bumps? It has nothing to do with no fucking razor bumps. It has nothing to do with no fucking razor bumps. It has everything to do with skin color. Black men in this country have been in the military ever since this country started. We was in the Revolutionary War. We was in the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Korean War. We was in Vietnam. We was here during peacetime. Shout out to the chat. I don't know how many family members I have that have served in the military. Some became Marines. Some went into the Navy. Some went into the Army. I have sisters that joined the military years ago when they were young. They didn't go to college, so what did they do? They went into the military. That's what a lot of young black men are doing. If they're not in college or on a job working somewhere, they're in the military. They're signing up. They're enlisting to go into the military. And I feel like this. I feel that if you're physically fit to serve, you should be able to serve if you want to. If you want to, there's a lot of good benefits comes with being in the military. I want to see how many veterans in this sector is going to talk about it. I want to see how many veterans in the sector is going to talk about it, because they're doing this for a reason. They're doing this on purpose. There was a lot of men that was in the military years ago. Some have joined up with the Nation of Islam. Some have joined other groups where these men talk about self-protection, protecting their family, protecting their neighborhood. The United States wants to stop that. They don't want you to have military training to protect yourself, but they want the military to attack you if you go out in the streets and you protest. See, some people are worried about the wrong things. Instead of the illegals, some people in the Latin community asking black people to join them in these protests. We know better what's going to happen if we join. So a lot of us sitting this one out. We're sitting out of these protests. My great-grandfather came to this country. He didn't come illegally. He came the right way. That is why he was able to remain in this country until he was what? Over 100 years old. He died after he reached over 100. Shout out to the chat. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about the purge they get ready to do in the military. My grandfather served during World War II in the Navy. He was a Navy man. My uncle served during Vietnam. He was a Navy man. I got one cousin that I know of. He became a Marine. I got other family members that became Army people, Air Force. Shout out to the chat. But this is what black men in this country have been doing for a long time, joining up in the military service, thinking that if they join, that they was going to get certain rights or certain spoils of war. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. During World War II, my grandfather, when he came back from serving, he still had to obey the laws that ruled this land at that time, and that was Jim Crow. That was the segregation laws. Shout out to the chat. He never liked white people. Never did. His mother never liked white people. My grandfather's great grandmother was a slave. Okay. So of course they didn't like white people. They distrusted them, and they passed that right on down into the fucking family. Because I wasn't raised in my own family, I didn't know about any of these stories or any of their experiences until I met them at 30 years old. I had to wait until I was 30 years old to meet my own fucking people, to meet my own family. Shout out to the chat. And I met a lot of them that don't like white people, and they let it be known. And I don't mean no harm. I think that's one of the reasons why they didn't want my family to raise me and my brother. Shout out to the chat. They didn't want me and my brother to be raised in our own fucking family, because there were some family members that were just outspoken like that. My father and my father's brother, which is my uncle, during the 1960s, they wanted to march with Martin Luther King. They thought if they marched in the streets of Martin Luther King and protested during that particular time, that things would change in this country. My grandfather told them it wouldn't change a goddamn thing. When the George Floyd thing happened, I went out there in the street, marched, protested. Nothing changed in this fucking country. When we protest, nothing changes. During the 1960s, the whole world watched black people on the televisions. It was all over the world what was going on about the protests then, how they suck dogs on us, how they used water hoses on us. The whole world was watching. And I don't mean no harm, but I wish the black leadership at that time would have taken up with America's enemies. Because America is never going to treat us as if we are their friends. They're never going to accept us. Even though we are Americans, they see us as being the enemy. And the only reason why they see black people as being the enemy is because we are the original people. We were here before any other race here on fucking earth. With all these protests that have been happening over the last couple of years, I don't mean no harm. You don't hear of any other black groups joining in with black Americans to protest, to fight, to get bills pushed, but they want to eat the benefits of that hard work. They want to get everything for fucking free. And I'm talking about those motherfuckers that wasn't born in this fucking country. You want to come over here, you want to criticize what the fuck we do, take your black asses, they ain't from here, and go back to where the fuck you came from. Shout out to the chat. We got a lot of illegal immigrants over here that are European. They're not supposed to be over here. But the country is not going to pinpoint them and say, oh, you got to leave. You're going to get deported. No, they rather see the people with the skin complexion that's darker than them to get rid of them. A couple of years ago, we had the LA riots going on for what happened to Rodney King. None of the Latinos jumped in, not the Asian community jumped in, and none of the West Indians jumped in. Shout out to the chat. Because they knew what the fuck was going to happen back then to them if they did participate. Say you get arrested and you're not even supposed to be in this country. You're gone. You're deported. I was in the county jail back in 2015. And I met this Mexican lady. Her name was Lilith. Lilith was here illegally. When she went to court, after she sat in that county jail for 16 months, she went to court. They deported her out of this country. They took her from South Carolina. They shipped her to someplace in Atlanta, Georgia. And after that, we didn't hear no more. It was like she just disappeared. But we knew she existed. A lot of people in this country don't know the struggles that Black people have to be faced with. And that dude, he did that video where he was talking about, what was he talking about? He asked the thing a question and it answered him. It told him like which race of people that particular entity would have liked to have been born under. Everybody knows. Whatever he heard, wherever he heard, we heard it too. But we know that's not reality. We know that. Been walking around here for years. And motherfuckers have stolen our birthright. They have stolen our names. They have stolen our culture. They have stolen our religion. And when I say religion, I'm not talking about Christianity. I'm not talking about Islam. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. But I do understand and I do respect the real faith systems of Black people. And trust me, you're not worshiping a ghost, something that doesn't fucking exist. There is none of that. In certain religions, you're actually worshiping yourself. You're acknowledging yourself as being God. You're not God Almighty, but you are made in the image of God, so you're being acknowledged. And those other religions, those gods don't look like us. Why don't people protest against that? Worshiping a God that doesn't even fucking look like you. The God that they said lived a long time ago, his name doesn't even fucking exist. Because the letter J didn't exist. Not in the Hebrew tongue. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, but there's a lot of bullshit getting ready to happen in this country to Black people, to us. No other group, no other race. They want to wipe us off the planet Earth. They want to kill all of us. If they could have did it during slavery, they would have did it. If they could have did it during the times of Jim Crow, they would have did it. These people had 500 years. And during that time, they did nothing but evil. Nothing but fucking evil. And there's some white people that benefit off that fucking evil. Shout out to the chat. But you don't hear nobody in the sector really talking about that. None of them. Only thing they want to do is gossip about each other or gossip about some fucking woman on fucking YouTube. It's strange. It's weird. We got a bunch of weirdos in this fucking sector. Been on YouTube for over 4 years. You should know something better than talking about what this person over there is doing. What if that person over there got Bitcoin? What kind of house that person got? What kind of car they drive? Is that person driving drunk? None of that shit matters in real life. None of it really fucking matters. All they do is gossip about each other like a bunch of cackling hens. You got a bunch of men on this app act just like straight up bitches. Bitches with dicks. Now shout out to the chat. Peace out.